Put our marinara sauce back on. What is up, my people? Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. How do I sound? Do I sound nice and clear? Do I sound nice and professional? What do you think? Hi from the United Kingdom. Hi from New Jersey. What's up, babe? What time is it in the United Kingdom? I'm always so curious when you guys say you're from like a completely different part of the world. And oh, look at these two crazy hairs I got right now. And it's like, what time is it there that you're watching me fry up rice balls? Because we're about to make rice balls tonight, okay? If you're joining, you're in for a treat. You know, at 8 o'clock, I start cooking. And I do have a rice ball recipe on my page already. It's if you go to the search bar and type in Leah's Cucina rice balls, anytime that I've made them, it'll pop up. So you can always just go back and, you know, like recap the recipe if you feel I'm flying by too quick, because you know me. You know me. What is up, my people? Hello from Arizona. Hello from New Jersey, Ghoulness. Thank you, Ellen. My husband's doing bedtime right now. Hi, Suzanne. How are you, my love? Sydney, Australia. You know, surprisingly, I have a pretty big following in Australia. I wonder what it is about me that makes you guys love me. Trinidad and Tobago. What time is it there? Okay, listen. I feel like rice balls is one of those things where every, you know, environment makes it maybe differently, or they call it something different. You know what I mean? These are, I don't want to call them classic or traditional. These are Leah's Victoria's rice balls, okay? Because I don't want to, you know, they don't do that in Italy. They don't do that in Sicily. Okay, well, I mean, this is what I grew up with. And honestly, I used to own a catering business that I just focused on rice balls in the beginning. We did venture out and start doing everything at some point. But in the beginning, we just catered rice balls. Savory and sweet, okay? Today, I'm going to be showing you the first one that we ever put out. It's we called it the classic. And it's like a meat and peas rice ball. So then I'm going to show you how to make the filling. I'm going to show you how to make the rice mixture, and then we're going to fry them. My daughter Serafina requested Chinese food. We were in Pennsylvania this morning. We came home early. We got home at like 11-ish. And today was my daughter Serafina's birthday. She requested, she had a yes day today actually, but we have been celebrating her birthday since Friday. You know, I mean, today is a Tuesday, so she requested a yes day, which is basically she says what she wants and we say yes, you know, everything within reason. And she requested a chill day, a nice relaxed day, and Chinese food. I am from Howard Beach, Queens. Where are you from, babe? 7:49, you know, at 8 we're going to start cooking. So I'm just here like prepping a few things. I got a pound of ground beef because I'm going to show you how to make the stuffing too. I got some parsley. I'm going to dice up an onion and some garlic, and that's going to be for the filling. I mean, everyone says they're very intimidated by rice balls, and I really feel they're just time-consuming more than anything, you know? I don't think they're hard. I think they're just more time-consuming. How bish? I did not do a mukbang for the Chinese, no. I just got a little soup. I got some sweet and sour soup. Plus, it was my kid's birthday. We were just chilling, you know? And then I got her like this little tiny cake from Wegmans. It's called like the mini white cake. It's like 2 slices. And, you know, I had to sing her happy birthday again, although this was the 4th time she had a cake and sang happy birthday. But it's like her actual birthday, so I couldn't help it. I am who I am. Over here on the stove, I do have some marinara sauce that I made early in the day. I have shared marinara sauce with you guys so many times. So many times. You can go on my page, type in Leah's Cucina marinara sauce, and it'll come up. But literally, all you do is fry up some onions, some garlic, till it gets nice and caramelized. Put in either some fresh tomatoes, like If you're going to use fresh tomatoes, I'd say like 4 cups of chopped fresh tomatoes. If not, like a can of crushed. Some fresh basil, some fresh parsley, and salt and pepper. Like, that's literally it. You know? Tiffany, she didn't make anything yet. We are going to be making rice balls soon. I'm just like prepping some stuff for the rice balls. I do have my pot of oil getting hot on the stove. You want that to be about like 360, 370. I'm using avocado oil. You could do canola, vegetable, peanut oil. I do think avocado oil is probably like the better one for you. So I'm just chopping up some onion, some garlic, and this is going to be for the stuffing. And at 8 o'clock, we will start cooking. We will start. I got some marinara sauce over here, just heating up. Because we want to dip, right? We want to dip in the marinara sauce. Have you ever had rice bowl palm? That was like never really a thing. But then when I moved to Staten Island with my husband, I saw rice bowl palm all over the place. People will put sauce and cheese on anything, okay? They're putting sauce and cheese on anything. Allison May, that's dope to say. Thank you, my love. I love you so much. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Lily. You're the GOAT, my love. Thank you. Thank you, Marty. Thank you guys for my gifts. I appreciate you. So, okay. I'm going to tell you, and even in my rice bowl recipe video that I have posted already on TikTok, I use sushi rice. Today, my daughter wanted Chinese food, so I just ordered a bunch of white rice from the Chinese spot. But I did measure it for you. So when we go over the recipe, I do have pretty specific measurements for the amount that I'm making, because I'm not making a huge batch. I did want to show you 2 different sizes, because I used to make them when I, was catering. I would sell them in either full size or I would do mini ones. So like, appetizers, like, you have people coming over, you don't know what to cook. You want to make some appetizers. Thank you so much for the gifts, my love. So if you're just joining, we are going to be making rice balls tonight, Sicilian Arancini. And I don't know if they're traditional or, whatever the case is, but they're Leah Victoria's rice balls. And this is how I make them, okay? And you guys are going to love them, trust me. I served these to my husband, and the reason why I got into catering is because my husband was literally like, this was many moons ago, before I even had kids, okay? And way before the big C, My husband was like, these are so good, you have to sell them. I've shared the story plenty of times. Anyway, it worked out, okay? It worked out. Hello, guys. At 8 o'clock, we're going to start cooking. I just wanted to start prepping some of the ingredients. So I'm going to be showing you how to make a Sicilian rice ball. The mixture for the filling is like a meat and pea mixture. The rice is a cheesy rice mixture. I like to use 4 different types of cheese, okay? And I have experimented with all different types of cheese. And I do feel like the 4 that I'm going to be showing you today are the best for a classic Sicilian, okay? What you got over there? Oh yeah, my husband's really into I can't even tell them. Can't even tell them the brands. Eventually one day I'll tell you when I'm not on live.
I've shared them.
My husband probably shared them. So on the stove right now, what I got is my marinara sauce, and that's really not something I'm showing you today. I show you marinara sauce often, but that's just for dipping at the end. When I cut it for you and show you what it looks like, I know you're gonna want me to do a little dip. And my husband loves the sauce dip, so, Hey, Jenna. Hi, Jordan. Thank you, my loves. Would I do catering again? I don't think I would, to be honest with you. I think my vibe of being in the kitchen has definitely changed. I do prefer to be in this form of the kitchen where I'm doing more of like a teaching thing rather than actually cooking and providing the food for somebody, especially nowadays, okay? Especially nowadays. Yes, Nicole, that was true. Michelle, I definitely will. I hope you are okay, babe, and I hope this is just something we are in and out. I definitely will, my love. Hi, Goddess baby. How are you, my love? If you guys are just joining, you're really in for a treat tonight, okay? So I would just grab yourself a cocktail, a mocktail, maybe a snack, whatever your vibe is tonight. We're going to be making arancini, which is a rice ball, okay? It's basically a rice ball, and it's a seasoned rice mixture stuffed with a beefy, cheesy saucy mixture, okay? I'm gonna be showing you the ingredients of how to make the rice, and I'm also gonna be showing you the filling, and then we're gonna be frying them together because, I mean, I can't just show you how to make them and not fry them. I'm gonna tell you, I used to make them like for the holidays. I still do around Christmas, but you can make them a few days in advance, and you can even make them like a month in advance. Freeze them, like not fried, you know what I mean? Right from the breading step, you'll see when we get there, okay? After that step, you flash freeze them. So you put them on a tray, single layer, freeze them like that, rock solid, like 8 to 10 hours. Then you just take them out and throw them in a Ziploc, okay? Now the day comes that you want to fry them, take them out of the freezer, do a little re-roll in the breadcrumb, soak up whatever moisture that the freezer left, and you dip them right in your fryer. I think the kitchen does not have to be complicated, okay? Rice balls, not hard. Time consuming, yes. Very time consuming. But you know what? You only got me for about an hour tonight. A little more than an hour because I hopped on a little earlier to prep. But you only got me for an hour tonight, and you know I'm going to deliver. So from start to finish, you're going to get a delicious, crispy rice ball. Now, my husband can attest, I make pretty good rice balls, okay? I'm not even trying to brag. But even when I was catering, we had all different kinds. So we had the classic. I did a 4-cheese. We had a pulled pork. We called it the Miss Piggy. Buffalo chicken, bacon cheeseburger, spinach artichoke, broccoli cheddar. What else did we have?
Dessert ones.
Yeah, we had dessert ones too. But what other savory did I? Oh, I had a chicken palm.
Chicken broccoli.
Broccoli rabe and sausage. Broccoli rabe and sausage.
You had a spinach one.
I did, spinach artichoke. Oh. And then I also had a cream spinach. Yeah. I had a cream spinach one too. And then we also did sweet. We did Nutella marshmallow, graham cracker, peanut butter and jelly. We would just turn anything into a freaking rice ball, okay? Oh my God, Kay, thank you for Galaxy. That's so dope. Thank you, my love. Oh my goodness, this rice ball's for you, babe, okay? And do you like rice balls? Hopefully you like them. Hopefully you like them. I love you, Kay. Thank you, my love. That was so kind of you. Yeah, so you know what? When we first started catering, we were just doing rice balls, so I was like super creative in, what flavor the rice balls were. But also, I was just trying to get my name out there. Thank you, Jordan, for the fireworks. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jess, for the fireworks. I appreciate that. You look so pretty, babe. Love watching you from Toronto. Well, thank you, babe. I love you from New Jersey. These are some frozen peas because we're going to be adding these to the filling mixture. Now, we're not going to really be cooking these. You just want to take them out right before you start cooking the stuffing. And then right when you put it back, right when you are done with the stuffing, you'll put these peas in. And then the heat from the stuffing will just cook them through. And they stay nice and green. So when you fry them, it's not like that dark green pea. You know what I mean? It's like the nice enticing green color. It's the green color where it's like, oh, that's definitely delicious. It's a nice, fresh, bright green, Where's my husband? Poor daddy's doing bedtime tonight.
What happened?
I don't know what happened, my love. So if you were just joining, okay, you were in for a treat today. We are making the most delicious rice balls you've ever had, okay? I have some onion and garlics here because I'm going to be showing you how to make, from start to finish, a classic Sicilian Arancini. Now, I am in no way, shape, or form telling you this is the most traditional rice ball you're ever going to have. You go to Sicily, this is what they're feeding you. I'm not telling you that. I'm telling you this is how Leah Vittoria makes rice balls, okay? And I used to survive on these rice balls, actually, for a living. I used to cater. It was my only form of income at the time. And we were slinging rice balls, sweet and savory, okay? And this was our #1 seller. And it's, whatever you want in a nice, comforting rice ball, you're going to get it here. So if you have been wondering how to make them, today's your lucky day, my love. So we're going to start by doing the stuffing. I do want to note, I do have some marinara sauce on the stove. This is not necessary. It's just for a little dip at the end, okay? I made that previously, and you have seen my marinara sauce recipe, so, you know. Just go to my page, type in Leah's Cucina marinara sauce, and it'll come up. Kay, thank you so much, my love. Jackson, thank you for the gifts. Kay, you are being too kind to me, my love. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, babe. Let's make some rice balls, okay? I also, on the stove, I have some oil heating up. So I'm using an avocado oil. You want to do something with a very high smoke point because you're you know, basically deep frying here, okay? Now for our stuffing, I just have some garlic and some onions, and we're going to fry that up with some ground beef. Have you ever had a rice ball? Let's start there. Who has had a rice ball? I'm going to do some olive oil. And you know what? I'm going to actually give you measurements today. I'm going to do about 2 tablespoons of olive oil here, okay? But also, if you did want a more, like, informational video, I should say, I don't know, I have posted rice balls on here before. So if you wanted to, like, go back and reference, that'll definitely be there too. Okay? I am obsessed with you, babe. Thanks for hanging with me. Are you excited to make rice balls? All right, let's see. Okay, let's see if anybody in this chat has actually had one of my rice balls, okay? Because I used to sell them all over Queens, Brooklyn, Staten Island. Once I got with my husband, I found a few markets over there a few times too. What did I do over there in Staten Island? But mostly Queens. I actually did some in Pennsylvania before. I did some in Pennsylvania. Me, Rosie's had them. Were they good, Rosie? Tell us the truth. Be honest, Rosie. Fran's had them. She said, yeah, okay. Listen, the people have spoken. First thing we're going to do is fry up the beef because we're going to take the beef out and then we'll mix it all together. But you want to get a little color on the beef to soak up the fat. You don't want the fat coming in. So I have a cup of ground beef here. I like to use an 80-20, which is why you fry it up first, because it is going to produce a nice amount of oil that we're going to soak up, okay? So this is 1 pound. I'm going to get this frying up. I'm going to season it while it's in there. And you know me, I'm going to be seasoning the whole way through, the whole time, okay? The whole way through. Now, very easy recipe. Like I said, time consuming. I did already have the rice prepped because there's no way I'm going to be able to sit up here, make rice, cool it, cool everything before we can make a rice ball, right? So I do have this gorgeous bowl of rice. And like I said, I'm giving you measurements today, so you're welcome, my people. This is 8 cups of rice. I'm using... This is from the Chinese food spot. It's my daughter's birthday today. She requested Chinese food and she got it, of course. And so I just ordered extra white rice to use for that. But I'm going to tell you, even when I was selling rice balls, I used to use sushi rice. It's a great option. I know arborio is the traditional way. So like I said, I don't want you to think it's like the most traditional thing that I'm telling you. But the sushi rice, especially when you're making them in bulk, cheaper than arborio, and it's super sticky, right? So it lets you like put a little bit less of the eggs, a little bit less of the cheese, because it just sticks together nicely. It gives it a great texture from like the jump, okay? The instant rice, I never personally use the instant rice. I think if you're gonna use the instant rice, just go to the Chinese spot and get yourself like a few containers of the white rice. This was exactly 2 containers of the large white rice. So if you wanted to go to the Chinese, place and do it like that, just get, babe, what is it, larger pint? Which one's the larger one? Whatever the larger one is, 2 of them, okay? And it's about 8 cups. It was like a little under 8. What about the rice you use from Costco? That would probably work, babe. That would probably work. The sticky rice. That would probably work. I'm going to tell you, I used to use the Kohoku Rose. That was the rice that I used when I was catering. I could only get it at the Asian market. It was called Kohoku Rose. It was all white with a little rose on it. It was great rice, I gotta say. It really was. So we're making the filling for our rice bowl here. I do have our oil going on the side because, you want to give this some time to heat up. It's going to take probably about a half hour. You are deep frying here. And you want the oil to get to about 360, 370, okay? This is just ground beef with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. It's 1 pound of ground beef. We're gonna season the whole way through, okay? I wanna fry this up a little bit to render some of the fat. So I'm gonna go in with seasonings that you're gonna be seeing throughout this whole video because I'm gonna be using the seasoning in the filling. I'm gonna be using it in the breadcrumb, in the rice. So once you season with this, keep it around, okay? When you decide to make this. We're gonna go in with some salt. I feel like I'm talking so fast. Thank you, sweet baby Jane. We had so much fun. I have so much fun there. Okay, I'm gonna go in with some onion powder. And if you're just joining, we're making Sicilian Arancini Leah Vittoria way, okay? I'm not saying it's the most traditional. Thank you for the bouquet, Kay. Thank you, my love. And these rice bowls are for Kay because she's here and she's just gifted me tonight. Girl, what's up, girl? Do you really love rice bowls? Is that what it is? This is some garlic powder. So like I said, we're going to be using these same seasonings the whole way through, okay? Some black pepper. Now, we just want to get some color on it. Break it up. Where's my Tommy boy? I just always use pink salt. I know kosher salt, I believe, is like the proper everyday cooking salt. I do feel like the pink salt just has a little bit more health benefits. It's like a natural electrolyte. And I don't really see the difference between like the pink salt and the, you know, kosher salt that everyone recommends to cook with all the time. So if I can sneak in like a little extra mineral or something somewhere, I'll take it. I'll take it. Now again, I don't know if that makes sense. This is me just sharing. So you want the oil to be about 360 to 370. And I'm using an avocado oil here. You could use canola, vegetable, not the healthiest oils for you. You could do peanut oil, but then you got to worry about allergies. I feel like the avocado oil is the most like universal high smoke point oil. You know what I mean? I love you too. I blame Midwestern kid. I love you too, boo. So if you're just joining, we are making classic Sicilian Arancini Leah Vittoria way, okay? Leah Vittoria style. Right now we are making the stuffing, which is a ground beef and pea stuffing. We're gonna put some tomato paste in here, but I just wanna get a little color on the meat. And you see how it's, you know, giving off a lot of fat? I did start with about 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I know people are gonna say, oh, you probably shouldn't have put the olive oil. But the thing is, I want to use that fat to fry up my onions and garlic, okay? So I want that residual fat to fry up the onion and garlic. So we're going to take this meat out, but I'm going to use that pan drippings to fry up the onion and the garlic, you know? So I just want to get a little color on it. Now, you know, you're not really cooking this through here. You're just browning it up. And like I said, I do have my oil on over here because you got to start that a little bit before. That will take about 20 to 30 minutes to get up to temp. And I also have some marinara sauce for dripping, okay? Tom, you married the goat.
The goat?
That's what it says. I got to put my hair up because it's hot. I feel like it's hot already. I love you too, bub. Thanks for hanging with me. When am I going to get my own show? I mean, we got our own show right here. Shout out to TikTok. We got our own show. We're chilling right here. You're watching me right now, babe. We're making arancini, which is pretty dope, I got to say. I mean, I've shared it for content, but you're going to watch me cook it live? Woo! You know, you never know. A lot of things can go wrong with arancini. Good thing I know what I'm doing. Thank you for sharing the live, Savannah. I appreciate that, my love. And no commercials, right? Who's better than that? Who's better than that? Who is better than that? I have a little bowl over here to put the meat in because I'm going to take the meat out now. And then we're going to fry up the onion and the garlic. Ooh, look at that little corgi butt. Thank you, Kay. What a cute little corgi butt. Thank you for the rose, Honeybee the Great. Thank you, Renee. Thank you, guys. Okay, now we're going to take our meat out, okay? I'm going to put it in this bowl with the paper towel. Let it drain. And then we're going to fry up the onion and the garlic in here. But the stuffing also doesn't have a ton of ingredients. Instead of using a can of tomatoes, you use tomato paste. And that helps with the texture of the stuffing because you don't want the stuffing to be watery, right? Like you don't want it to seep into the oil. You want everything to be pretty tight. So instead of using a crushed tomato or a fresh tomato that produces a lot more moisture, you're going to go in with some tomato paste. I'll show you. Okay, now, you see the fat in the bottom of your pan? We're going to use that. We're going to put the onion and the garlic in there. It says 1 small onion, I'd say about 1/4 cup, and 5 garlic cloves. I'm using 1 pound of ground beef. So just brown this, I'd say like 3 to 5 minutes. And we're going to season this as well. The same way we seasoned the meat. Like I said, we're going to keep those seasonings around for now. Okay? Hi, Bernadette. How are you, my love? If you're just joining, we are making something called arancini, which is a rice ball, okay? It's a Sicilian-inspired rice ball, but this is Leah Victoria's way, okay? And right now we are making the stuffing for that rice ball, which is a meat and pea mixture. So I just fried up some ground beef. I have it resting on some paper towel. My house smells so good right now. Like I really wish you could smell it. I took it out, and in that fat that the ground beef produced, I am frying up onion and garlic. This is actually a mock one, but we'll talk more about that at a later date. Princeton in the house. That's not far from me. Someone actually told me about a really nice Amish market in Princeton. Hey, Jay. How are you? Hi, Joy. Thank you for being here. The marinara sauce is not tomatoes from the garden. It's actually a marinara sauce from my freezer. I made it like a month ago. I had a little extra, and I always freeze my extra marinara sauce. Okay, you see how it's getting nice and brown, and the bottom is building a little fond, also what we want, okay? Now we're gonna season these onions. I'm gonna put those dry spices right in this hot fat, which is also gonna just bloom them. It's gonna make them taste so much better. Onion powder. Garlic powder. A little salt. Now, I don't put sugar in my sauce, right? I told you that. I don't put sugar in my sauce. In my rice ball stuffing, I put a little sprinkle of sugar. I do. Because you need that mixture to be a little sweet. Okay? And not just sweet from the tomatoes, like it has to be a little sweet. So I do add a little sugar here. Okay? Now, you see that pan? Boosting with flavor. I'm going to go in with a little bit of, let me see if I have wine. If not, we'll do water. Do I have any wine here, my love? Oh, right here. Perfect.
I actually think there's some in the fridge.
No, there's not. I would prefer a red. Do I have a red? I think this is red.
Leave it open up for you?
I got it. Oh, you got to open it with the other thing. I'm going to just do a splash of water, babe. No big deal. Yes. This is a 1/4 cup of water, okay? Just to get whatever's on the bottom of your pan. See, it just picks it up nicely. Thickens it. It also helps cook the onions and the garlic a little quicker. How good does it smell in here right now? Okay. Leah is making arancini, classic Sicilian arancini. We are almost done with the stuffing. After this part, it goes pretty quick. We're putting the meat mixture back in, okay? I'm going to put, I believe this is 7 ounces, this jar? Yeah. 7 ounces of tomato paste. This is not sauce, not crushed tomatoes, tomato paste. It's thicker. Way less moisture inside. I'm going to do all 7 ounces. And again, this is 1 pound of ground beef, okay? So just, take that into consideration if you're using a little more. Your measurements are going to be a little off. And I am going to predict this is going to make about 8 to 10 rice balls, okay? That's what I'm predicting. A little bit thicker. Thicker like a Snicker, okay? Mix it up. Now, you want this to be coated in the sauce, but you don't want it to be swimming in it. Like I said, you want it to be nice and thick. And right here, this is perfect. Now, with that fat that's in the pan, you want to fry up this tomato paste. You want to get it a little darker, okay? Now, we're going to go in and season again. And then this here, we put a little sugar. This is where we put a little bit of our sugar. Then we're going to work on our rice mixture. And then after that, it goes very quick because even frying them goes very quick. Where's the sugar that I bought? Did you see the sugar? The sugar. Oh, sugar, sugar. Oh, honey, honey. I need a little sugar. I just bought it. I got it. And when I tell you like a sprinkle, that's it. I'd say that was probably like 2 teaspoons. Gotta trust me here, okay? You gotta trust your girl. Now we're gonna go in with a little bit of some parsley. And now we're going to season again. Black pepper, some salt, some garlic powder, and some onion powder. Now at this point, we're going to cook it for like 2 minutes. Put our peas in and it's done. We're going to work on our rice mixture.
Brianna asked how the garden was doing.
The garden is great. I actually was away from it for 3 days. So tomorrow morning, I will spend some time in there. But I'm going to tell you, I don't think my squash are looking too great, if I'm keeping it real with you. From the door, because I haven't been out there yet. It's been a crazy day already. Then they're not looking too hot. The front plant is at least. I didn't get to the back of it yet. So, we'll see. But you know what? This is like the weird stage of the season anyway. I feel like now is when my garden starts to phase off. Because the weather is pretty inconsistent. It's like chilly, not chilly, but it's, a little bit more cool in the morning. And then it gets cooler, and then it gets, warmer during the day. So here I have about a hefty cup of frozen green peas. I'm going to add them right in. And at this point, this is done, okay? We're going to take it out, put it in a plate, and pop it in the fridge just so it can get like up to temp for us to touch. Before we start stuffing it in the seasoned rice that we're about to make. So if you're just joining, you're here at a good time, my friends. Okay? Let's taste it for seasoning. Wow. Oh my God, babe. So good. It's funny because my husband used to really love my rice balls. And then we were selling them, so we were making them consistently. Like all the time, So he didn't really care for him anymore. We were just sick of him. Now that we haven't had him, he's like, oh, I can't wait to eat a rice bowl later. Okay. Let's get it in the pan. In the plate. And let's start working on the rice.
How long did you do that for?
I'd say about 3 years.
Jess and John.
We did it for about 3 years, and I think just like the food business just started changing, you know, and it just wasn't feasible anymore. It just wasn't working out. It was like too much downtime. I started having kids, and it was like taking away so much time from my kids. You know what I mean?
What's
So
your favorite thing to cook from Judy?
I love to cook seafood, but honestly, I just love to cook in general. I don't really think I need like a favorite thing to cook. Just keep me in the kitchen. You know, I'm just happy to be here.
Ooh, look at that mixture.
I know, babe, and it's really good.
It looks good.
It's good. It's like you really just don't lose it. Like if you learn how to make it, and especially when you're making it in bulk for people, you kind of just got it down pat. Like you could eye it out like it's no one's business. But do you see how it's like kind of looks a little oily? Like the tomato paste has thickened. Like, you know this is a delicious mixture, okay? And you could just put this over pasta. You can make this whole mixture in a bundt pan. You remember I made that for Easter?
I just eat with a spoon.
Yeah, my husband likes to eat it with a spoon. No, but my grandma, for real, because my grandma was alive when I was catering rice balls, actually. And I've actually made them in her kitchen a few times for a catering order. But whatever the leftover stuffing, she would just toss it with pasta. She would like grill up zucchini and eat it over zucchini. It's a delicious mixture. I'm gonna pop this in the freezer just to cool off, you know, before I get to the next step. I mean, I'm not really, listen, I don't hate making it. I do prefer to make them around the holidays. I love like the holiday desserts. But I'm not really a baker. It's not my first choice because baking is very precise and I'm more like a free spirit in the kitchen, you know? But trust me, I could throw down on some baked goods. Let me tell you that. I got my oil going over here. Before we start building our rice, I just want to check the temperature of this oil right now. Now, for the rice balls, you want it to be about 360, 370. That's perfect. Right now, it's on about 350. So I'm going to put it a little lower until we're done with this rice, okay? Here I have a big old bowl of rice, okay? This is about 8 cups of rice. Now, like I said, this is white rice from the Chinese food spot. Even when I was catering, I used to use sushi rice, sticky sushi rice. Thank you, Kay. Thank you so much, my love. Thank you for the galaxy. I love you, babe. This rice ball's for you. You better like rice balls. Now we're going to season it, okay? So all this is about 8 cups of white rice. I'm going to go in with some salt. There's lots of cheese in here, so don't go crazy with the salt. This actually has 4 different types of cheese. Garlic powder. Onion powder.
How much oil do you use and what kind of oil?
I'm using avocado oil here. You want something with a high smoke point, and I think depending on what size pot that you're using, you want to deep fry. So whatever big pot that you have, it's going to give you enough liquid to deep fry. This is probably about, I'd say about 6 cups of oil right here.
And we used to always cover them in full if you can.
Yeah, you definitely want to cover them. Black pepper, which I really like in a rice ball. I really go heavy on the black pepper, especially the classic Sicilian ones.
Say hi, Loriana.
Hi, Loriana. What's up, my love? Fresh parsley. Now, our first cheese. Introducing our first cheese is some Pecorino Romano. It's going to be about a cup, a hefty cup, okay? Each cheese is a hefty cup. Next up.
Hey, Leslie.
What's up, Leslie? Next up, sharp provolone.
What about peas? Can you substitute something else?
You can just omit them. You really can. It does give you a nice pop of sweetness. I do love them, but I have seen them without the peas. So just omit it. No big deal. I wouldn't substitute it though. Maybe add a little fresh, little extra fresh parsley. Okay, but I wouldn't substitute it. Just omit it. No big deal. Maybe a little extra sugar to make up for it, but You know, not necessary. If you don't love them, no big deal. Sharp provolone, okay? This is our second cheese. I like to do the sharp. You have other cheese coming in that aren't sharp, it's going to counteract everything. Trust me here, okay? So again, a nice hefty cup of sharp provolone. I shredded this myself. It's hard to get like a sharp provolone shredded, honestly. Now I have a fontina. Have you ever had fontina? I really believe it's a superior cheese. People don't know about it. People aren't trying it. It melts so nicely. Number one cheese for mac and cheese, in my opinion. Okay, it melts so nicely. So a nice hefty cup of fontina. It's so underrated, it is. And then, of course, some mozzarella, a cup of mozzarella, because you can't go in without mozzarella. Again, a great melting cheese, okay? This I did not shred on my own. This was pre-shredded, okay? Pre-shredded, no big deal. No one cares. It's okay. It's not a big deal. No big schmeals. Okay, this is 8 cups, right? For every 2 cups, you want to do an egg. So I have 4 eggs here. Put 4 eggs in. 1, 2. This rice is cooked. Yes, this is cooked white rice that I got from the Chinese food spot. Okay.
What's the difference between fontina and Gouda?
I think Gouda's a little smokier. I think Gouda's a little sharper and nuttier for sure. Fontina, very creamy and buttery. I'm going to go with my hands, okay? Because it's really the only way. Trust me, it's the only way. I go in, I mix, and then I kind of like, you know, you see what I'm doing here? You see how I'm going like this with it? And I know, like, even when you're doing meatballs, they don't want you to do that, you know? They want you to barely mix. You want to mix, okay? You want to marry the cheese. Now, how I can tell the texture of this is by feeling it, which is another reason why you got to go in and go with your hands. I'm going to tell you right now, this is already looking like the perfect texture for me. I may want my husband to come in and sprinkle a little more grated cheese, but you want to see that yellow from the yolk, okay? You want this rice to look seasoned. You want to see the black pepper, see the parsley. You want to season it, you know? I need a little more.
You always need more.
I do. You always do this for me. Do like a half cup more. So I did a cup in the beginning, about a cup and a half, because this grated cheese is also your binder. That's good, babe. That's perfect now, yeah? It's perfect now. Okay. Tom's the best sous chef. He's been putting parsley in my rice mixture for years. Now, let me show you something. Right here, if you're not trying to stuff them and you want to do just straight rice, no meat, this is called a quattro formaggi. It's a 4-cheese rice ball. Now, right here, this is perfect. You could just fry this ball right here. You see how it's staying together really nicely? I'm going to show you how we make the well and how we stuff it. I'm going to wash my hands, but I'm going to put a little bowl of water on the side because a little dip in water helps you roll the bowl nicely, okay? I'm going to wash my hands. We're going to make our little seasoned breadcrumb mixture that we're going to dip the rice balls in before we fry. A lot of hand washing in this recipe. It's really hard to do gloves, you know? I feel like the gloves kind of just get disgusting, you know? They really do just get disgusting. Let's put this aside for a second. Breadcrumb mixture. This is a seasoned breadcrumb. I actually have a little panko in here because I had some left over from an older container and I mixed them. Doesn't matter. Whatever breadcrumbs you have on hand, it's really not that big of a deal, okay? And this is just a dredge to roll the balls in. So you probably need about 2-3 cups here. Again, this is going to depend on how many rice balls you're making. And we're going to season these breadcrumbs the same way we seasoned every step of this rice ball, okay? Some grated cheese. some black pepper, some salt, fresh parsley, garlic powder, and onion powder. If you're just joining, we're making Sicilian arancinis, okay? Mix. And as we boil them, we're going to put them into this bread mixture. Okay? Let's check our oil, because I want to bread and go right in, okay? Perfect. It's 369 right now. We want it to be between 350 and 370-ish. Between 350 to 370. Okay? Let's take our rice ball mixture. Here's our big bowl of rice. This is our meat mixture that we made. It's a ground beef and pea mixture. You're gonna use like a hefty spoon, okay? None of this is like, you really just depends on the size that you make in the bowl. You know what I mean? So say with this bowl that we started with, let me get my little water dip, hold on. Got a little bowl of water here. Now you just want to do like a little dip in your hands, okay? We're making arancini here. So I have our seasoned rice, I have our breadcrumb mixture, and then I also have our meat mixture, okay? We're going to do about this much per bowl. I say a nice hefty tablespoon, okay? Take your rice bowl. This is probably about, I'd say about 3/4 of a cup of rice, okay? First you want to do is make a ball. Nice tight ball. Take your thumb, go in the middle of the ball, use the rest of your fingers to create a well. Do you see what I'm doing here? Now you made a nice little hole in there. And we're gonna stuff the shh out of that hole, okay? Nice little hole. Take your meat mixture, the back of the spoon, and shove it in. Take a little more, and I feel like the more you do this, you kind of can tell the vibe of how much you can stuff it, you know what I mean? I'm going to show you two different sizes here. I'm going to show you the classic size, and I'm also going to show you how we used to make the appetizer size. So here's your first one. Now you literally just work that rice up. You see? Close it. And you're going to roll it in the breadcrumbs. And that's it. That's literally it, guys. So you want to go through what's in the mixtures? Okay. The rice mixture is Chinese food rice. I bought white rice from the Chinese food spot, okay? And I seasoned it with, this is about 8 cups of rice. I seasoned it with 4 eggs.
No egg wash, right?
No egg wash.
We're getting asked that question.
We don't need the egg wash. It's really not
Yeah,
necessary.
how long do you cook them for?
I'd say about 4 or 5 minutes per bowl.
They're like golden brown, right?
Yeah. And they're very easy to like maneuver, you know? Like if you see it's open over here, just put a little rice over it, guys. Put a little rice over it.
Does the rice have to be cold or can it be warm?
The rice has to be cold. Not like freezing from the fridge, but it has to be like room temperature because you don't want the hot rice to cook the cheese that you put in the rice mixture. You know what I mean? So let's go through again, okay? I have a little bowl of water over here. You're just putting a little water on your hands. You're taking about 3/4 of a cup of rice. This is seasoned rice mixture. Rice, parsley, 4 different types of cheese. We did Pecorino Romano, Fontina, sharp provolone, and mozzarella, okay? So here's your seasoned rice ball. Take your thumb and just stick your thumb in the ball. Use the rest of your fingers to like flatten out the sides. You're essentially making a little well here. You're gonna stuff that well. We have this ground beef and pea mixture. It has tomato paste, peas, onions, garlic, nice and seasoned. Think like a thick bolognese, okay? Stuff it in. Use your rice to work up the sides. Close it. And then we're going to roll it in the breadcrumb. Hi from Long Island. What's up, babe? I know Long Island probably got good rice bowls over there, right? Probably not as good as mine. But I'm sure they're tasty. We're going to do 4 big size, and then I'm going to show you how I make some small ones. I'm going to save some of the seasoned rice for something else that I'm working on tomorrow. But we're going to do 4 full size and then 4 minis. And then we're going to start frying. See a little well. Take your spoon. Get in there with a nice hefty tablespoon of that meat mixture.
Can you add more cheese or would it seep out too much? That was for Brianna.
I feel like this was plenty of cheese, babe.
Yeah.
There was plenty of cheese in here. You don't need any more.
It would just drip out.
I think it would. It's. You don't want it to be too much either, because then it mucks up your oil. Okay, it's gonna seep into the oil, and cheese does produce moisture too. So just remember that.
Miss Julia Gooley asked what's in your breadcrumbs.
My breadcrumb mixture is a seasoned breadcrumb. It's regular breadcrumb and also a little panko, just because I had some extra left over in there. I put some onion powder, garlic powder, fresh parsley, salt, and black pepper. Okay? The same exact seasoning I put in any other Italian manna breadcrumb that I do, you know? Okay, we did 4 big size. Now we're going to do some minis. Now, basically, you're just making an appetizer size. So instead of about 3/4 of a cup, you're taking about a half a cup. Okay? Same way. Go in. Make your little hole. Now, you're just not going to put as much mixture. Okay? But these are great if you're hosting, you know. You don't have to make huge ones. And sometimes they're just too big. Like, not everyone wants a whole rice bowl. Hi, Louise. Thank you for the gifts, my love. And then you get them in those breadcrumbs. And that's it. I'll do a few of those, and then we're going to get frying. Have you guys ever made rice bowls before? They really are a crowd pleaser. I feel like every time I make them for people, they really do love them. Like, people just really enjoy rice bowls. I have to show you some of my other recipes of these rice bowls. Some of these other flavors that I used to make. Just because they're different, you know? Something different. I buy them from Uncle G's. Okay. They're probably good from them too. Everyone's got their own little way of doing things. And that's okay. If you're just joining, we are making Sicilian Arancini. It is Lia Vittoria style, of course. Okay. And it's basically a seasoned rice mixture with a nice meat and pea mixture. You can do one more.
What was my favorite rice bowl flavor?
Bacon cheeseburger, probably.
Bacon cheeseburger and pulled pork.
And the pulled pork. Yeah, he loves the pulled pork. The pulled pork was Kerrygold Dubliner rice. It was an Irish cheddar. And it had, I put caramelized onions, homemade caramelized onions in the rice. And the stuffing was a homemade pulled pork. It was a Dr. Pepper pulled pork. It was really good. It was. We did some bacon cheeseburger, pulled pork, broccoli cheddar, spinach artichoke, chicken palm. We had broccoli rabe and sausage. Oh my God, so many different kinds. I wonder if you looked up, we used to call it Leah's Italian apples. Yes. It used to be called Leah's Italian apples. So I wonder if you like went down the rabbit hole of Leah's Italian apples, if you would come across any of it. I'm sure you would. I mean, the internet is forever, my people. Okay? Babe, if you have nothing to do, you could put this in a Ziploc for me. I'm going to save it because I'm going to show them the bundt pan rice balls tomorrow. Okay. The fun part. We're going to start frying, finally. If you were with me this long, you guys are troopers. Okay? Now I'm going to show you something. you put your ball on your ladle, okay? You want to dip in and you want to get it a little wet so it doesn't stick. I'm going to move the angle for you. Let's move you so you can see what I'm doing over here, okay? What, babe?
Crazy recipe ideas.
Which one? My crazy ones?
No. Somebody said
Oh.
sweet and savory rice ball.
Oh, like a, let me think. Like a chocolatey pretzel or something? Let's see, how do I flip you? Flip camera. Look at me getting all technical and professional with you. Ooh! How's it look, babe?
Ooh. It might get a little steamy.
I don't think so. Okay, I just want to show you how they fry up, okay? I don't want to skip that step for you guys. So you see how it's already getting kind of brown? You don't want to touch them 100 times. Like, you just want to make sure they're not sticking. So again, I'm going to put it in my ladle. You're going to go in and you want to dip them a little bit. You want to get the bottom a little fried up before you put it in. And that also helps it not stick, okay? I'm going to do all 4 of the big ones and then all 4 of the small ones at the same time. You don't want to crowd the pan too much because you also don't want it to, you know, take the temperature of the oil down. So I'd say about 5 to 6 minutes each ball. I like to fry them hard. I want them to be nice and golden brown. You know, you get Chinese food. I mean, you get wings from the Chinese spot. You tell them to fry them hard. That's what I want to do to my rice balls.
Vita's here.
Vita! What's up, my love? How are these rice balls looking for you? They looking like Clemente's rice balls or what? Except they're Leah's Cucina's. Okay? Thank you for sharing my live, my people, and liking it.
Tony asked if you ever baked them. I don't think they'd work.
I'm going to tell you, and liking it.
Tony asked if you ever baked them. I don't think they'd work.
I'm going to tell you, I have, people have told me that they bought them from me and then warmed them up in the oven. That is something that I have, you know, heard. But I never baked them personally. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could air fry them. Are they going to get that golden crisp? I don't know. I don't know if they will. You know, I'm not sure. But it doesn't hurt to try, you know. I would say if you're going to bake them, I would definitely put a little spritz of olive oil on them. And I would maybe freeze them for a few seconds before so they don't automatically melt while it's like getting to temp. I would say to freeze them for a few minutes before. These are looking so beautiful, okay? Now, I have a little tray over here with a cooling rack. This too, my love. With a cooling rack because you don't really want to put it on the paper towel. The paper towel really does, it gets very soggy on the paper towel. So this is just a baking sheet with a tray on top. I say I have about 6 cups of oil in there. I'm using avocado oil. You want something with a high smoke point, okay? And you want to make sure you're using something that's going to deep fry. So I guess it also does depend on what size pan that you're using too, you know? What's the matter, babe?
Imagine you would have sold them during lunch in your high school. That's somebody just said.
That's so funny.
How much oil?
About 6 cups.
Okay.
I'd say about 6 cups. So these are frying up really nicely. And I gotta say, I used to be sitting here, we would do like, how many dozen, babe? I mean, for real.
We did 100 something?
Even when I was doing the holiday markets, like for a Christmas market, we used to do them usually like weekly, the whole month of December. We would do probably like 150, at least like 15 dozen, 16 dozen. Lots and lots of rice balls. And I'm going to tell you something. We were selling food with no restrictions back in the day. I mean, there were some, but very little, okay? We were just individually wrapping them up, and they were being sold just like on a table. There was no like, oh, you got to have them heated to a certain thing. You got to be refrigerated. You got to be on a sterno. It was just like, survival of the fittest back in the day. We used to be cool. I don't know what happened to us, okay? So I stopped doing the catering when it just started to get like too many rules and stuff I had to keep up with. Like, I just wanted to cook and share my food with people, you know? You know what I mean? You guys want to see they're looking so good. I got to do my puzzle piece. Hold on. Oh. They know I'm here. They said I'm good. I passed. If you're just joining, we are making arancini, Leah's cucina style, okay? And this is a seasoned rice mixture. In the rice, it has 4 different types of cheese, egg, parsley, seasoning, and then we rolled it in some breadcrumb. It's stuffed with the ground beef and pea mixture. So delicious. I want to show you what it looks like. Yeah, okay. I'm going to show you. Flip. Here we go.
If Carrie's asking if she wanted to make them as an appetizer, when should she serve them, and do they stay hot for a while?
Well, I would serve them when you serve the appetizers. And if you don't think they're going to stay hot enough, you could just cook them and put them in the oven like 250, you know? Keep them on that wire rack and pop them in the oven at like 250. And that's just going to really keep them nice and toasty and crispy. So you want to just make sure you are not having them sit in like too much liquid, you know? My husband's sending me gifts. Thank you, my love. Thank you, my love. But I have made these before, like I said, in advance. You put the whole thing together up until this step where you put them in the breadcrumb, and then you put them on a tray and you freeze them like in a single layer, almost like a flash frozen, you know? Pop them in like 8 to 10 hours, completely rock solid, and then throw them in a Ziploc, and you could just fry them up the day you want to cook them. Roll them back in the breadcrumb mixture that day, you know, that you're going to fry them, to just soak up whatever moisture the freezer left off. And you just pop them right in. Pop them right in the fry them just like that. That's no problem. Oh, that's so cool. What was that cool little gift? They gave me a sliced lemon. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. That was really
That was so cute. Thank you, my love. Who was that sent that? Aspen, thank you, my love. That is so cute. Ooh, Isabel, thank you. Thank you. What was that, a little motorcycle? Dinosaur? Jen, there was a tiny track. A tiny track. That is hysterical. These are rice balls, my people, okay? And if you just join, that is hysterical. These are rice balls, my people, okay? And if you're just joining, I'm going to turn you again, because this is like a pretty cool step, right? Like, don't you want to see how they're frying up? These are almost done. I'm going to let them go another minute or two. But they look so beautiful. Look at them. Classic rice balls. I would love to make the pulled pork one for you guys. I really would. I'm going to put you on here so you can see them go in the tray. Okay, and I am going to salt them as soon as they come out. You want to do that with fried foods. It just like re-seasons them, you know? Sometimes you lose a little bit of that flavor in the oil, okay? Let's go in with them. You're going to die, guys. Look at this. Ta-ta-da-da! I'm going to put one here. Does that look great, babe, or what? How great? Here she is. And I also have marinara sauce that we're going to dip. These are perfectly crispy. Like, do you see that? I'm going to go in a little bit of salt. Just a very little bit, okay? Just to refresh them. Just to refresh them. Look at them. Do those look beautiful or what? I mean, for real. Now we're going to go in with the little ones. I'm going to fry up these little ones. Same way, just so much quicker, you know? You only need to fry these about 3 to 4 minutes. Just trying to give you guys a different angle because you can't really see what's happening in the pot from the ring light. You know what I mean? And I feel like this is a pretty cool step for you. Don't you want to see them getting nice and crispy? I'm using avocado oil here, but you could use canola oil. You could use a vegetable oil. You could use a peanut oil, but you do have to worry about allergies, you know, if you're serving them to a crowd. Use something with a high smoke point. You know, anything that has a really high smoke point because these will burn in what you called? Olive oil, because you want to deep fry. You really can't deep fry with olive oil, you know? You really can't. If you guys are just joining, we're making rice balls. What do I do with the oil at the end? You just save it, you let it get cool, and then you put it back in the oil container. I'm going to make a little plate with some microgreens and some lemon.
And ask what we do with the oil at the end.
I usually save it, and my husband pours it back in the oil container. And then we just throw it in the garbage, because you're really not supposed to, you know, put that down your drain. And it's garbage now. It's not, you know, you can't, it's not something you can recycle.
It's so dirty.
Yeah.
The breadcrumbs, you know?
The breadcrumbs now, the breadcrumbs have eggs in them. So you can't really, you don't really want to save those either. You know what I mean? If you're going to be making something like that day, the next day, fine. You can even freeze them. Like around the holiday times, if I'm making, freeze them. Like around the holiday times, if I'm making stuff, you know, you're going to be making some sort of breadcrumb. You know what I mean? I'm going to do a little microgreen plate with some fresh lemons, and I'm going to just show you how I would serve them. Let's see what I got here. Just keeping an eye on these. Oh my goodness, babe, you're gonna go crazy over these.
Oh, I can't wait. Tony makes her own sourdough breadcrumbs.
Whoa, you go, Tony.
Tony Marie, sorry. The name was over the thing.
These are the mini ones. I'm going to take them out. Do you hear that? Do you hear how crispy that is? That's crazy. Crispy, crispy. Let's see. Start to finish, we're making rice balls. Look at this, 8:54, and we're about to plate it. I mean, come on. Come on. I want to get it plated and show you the inside, okay? I'm going to go down with some microgreens. Let's put a little bowl in the middle for our sauce.
What does a rice ball taste like?
A rice bowl, I feel like would give you like, it's like giving lasagna. You know, it really is. It's really giving lasagna. It has the meat,
Yeah, right.
the cheese, the sauce. It's like very hearty, you know. I'm going to put some microgreen. This is just for show, guys. You know, this is for the vibes. Because, like, everything looks better with a little green. Let's be honest. Even when you're hosting, remember that. When I build a little antipasto, I always put a little green at the bottom. Here's marinara sauce that I made. I just had it in the freezer. I took it out this morning. Go in with a little bit of that.
Sprouts?
These are broccoli microgreens.
Ooh, broccoli microgreens.
Yeah. Use your cookie scoop as your ladle. Why not? How many utensils does one need? You know? 8:55, my people. We are about to cut into an arancini. If you're just joining, you really missed a beautiful show today, okay? I made homemade rice balls. These are Sicilian arancini. They are a 4-cheese rice stuffed with meat and peas, okay? We're going to plate them. We're going to cut one. And my husband's going to take a bite because I'm going to do a mukbang after. So the live bites are for Mr. T. So we made 2 different sizes here, okay? These are the regular size. Look how crispy these are. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Okay. These are the big ones that we made. And then we also made mini ones. Are those so cute or what? I am freaking obsessed. Okay. Now we're going to cut one. Babe, you're going to come here and take a bite?
Of course.
Do you want a mini or a big one? What do you think?
I think a mini one.
I'm going to go with this half of one for him. Okay. You ready? I'm so excited. From start to finish, my friends, we made Sicilian rice balls, okay? Here's the inside. Nice cheese pull with that rice. Oh, come on, babe. Let's do a cheers. Rice bowls for the win, my friends.
Ooh, hello.
I know. It's been so long.
Can I get a dip?
Of course. Cheese.
Made a mess already?
He always does. It's okay. I didn't lose it, babe. Look at this. I mean, you're not serious, right? Like, you're not serious? Look.
That's fontina right there.
That's the fontina. Exactly. That's exactly what that is. The
Alright.
fontina gives you such a nice texture. It gives you that nice cheese pull that you're looking for. Now, the provolone is not going to do that for you. That chopped provolone is not going to give you that cheese pull. It's not going to give you that stringy cheese, but it is going to give you the flavor, okay? You make up for it. You make up for it with the mozzarella and the fontina.
Fontina.
Another delicious live, my people. Another delicious live. Thank you so much for the gifts, my people. Thank you. This is Sicilian rice ball, so it's stuffed with a meat and cheese mixture. And you can really go crazy with the stuffings here, okay? Go crazy with the rice mixture. Like when I did the buffalo chicken rice ball, the rice itself was like a white American. And then the mixture, I did like a fried chicken cutlet. I tossed it in like a homemade buffalo sauce. And then I put chunks of blue cheese and also blue cheese dressing in the stuffing. It was so good, so good. People loved it. You can use jasmine rice. I just think the jasmine rice, you're probably gonna need a little bit more of the eggs, okay? Because like I said, the sticky rice works so great because it's sticky. You're gonna have another one? Can I open it on camera for you? Which one do you want?
Doesn't matter.
You pick one, babe.
Take your
Literally anyone you want. You want this one? Okay.
That one looks good.
I need another reason to break one open. If you guys were joining me today, thank you so much. We made these insane rice balls. I am super proud of these, okay? And I used to cater these guys. These were a hot seller. They really were. Get the little pocket for the dip. I'm straightening up because we're going to do a mukbang after this, of course, because I love to share in real time what they look like, you know? I like when you guys hang with me. You guys, like, you hype me up, you know? You hype me up. We have so much fun on here. And I mean, there's not many people you're going to catch me in my kitchen at 8 p.m. frying rice balls for, okay? There's not many people you're going to catch me frying rice balls for. at 8 p.m. Only you guys. And my hubby, of course.
Thank you.
Did you enjoy that? Mm-hmm. So crispy. Okay. Love from PA, love from New Jersey. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I love you too, Kay. Thank you for hanging with me tonight. Thank you for being so generous. That was so, so dope of you, babe. Thank you, Claire. I appreciate that. If I'm hosting, I would not fry these before. I would make them up until the step where I just put the breadcrumb on, and then you fry them right before the people come. So you can make them in advance, but I would wait to fry them because they're not going to stay as crispy, you know? They're always going to stay crispy the day that you fry them. Like right now, they're super crispy, and they'll stay like this. I'm not kidding. They'll stay like this for a few hours. But once they like completely cool off, they just need to be popped in the oven for a few to re-crisp. You know, put them in the crisper. Maybe even the air fryer. We don't have an air fryer, but maybe even the air fryer. You know? Hi, JJ, my love. I miss you, babe. You're a rock star. Thank you for hanging out with me, babe. Aren't you sleeping? It's 9 o'clock. Go to bed. Thank you, Ronnie. I appreciate that. We made rice balls tonight, Jay. You missed a good one. You would love these. I gotta come to the JJ's own kitchen and whip up a rice ball. Rice balls are a Sicilian handheld, okay? Now, we used to call them Leah's Italian apples, basically because you hold them like an apple, you eat them like an apple, okay? That was our little play on words. And it's a seasoned rice mixture. It has a meat and pea filling. It is breaded and fried to a super, super crisp. You serve it with a little sauce, and it's like a little, you know, on-the-go street food, little appetizer situation. Yeah, see, Fran knows. It's a little street food. Thank you guys for hanging with me. This was so much fun. It has been such a long day. We literally drove home from Pennsylvania today. And I really need to get in that garden tomorrow. I don't know what's going on in there. It looks pretty good from the window. I do think the squash is going on. Got a little something going on with the squash over there. So we'll revisit that tomorrow. But this is a very weird season. I mean, a weird part of the season. You know what I mean? Like, this is the part of the gardening season where things just start taking a turn for the worst. Okay? I mean, in my zone, it depends on where you live. Like in New Jersey, the weather's a little off. So it depends on your zone, you know? The squash bulbs are very common right now, so we'll see. I do see some of that little white powder on my leaves. I got to tell you. I'm not going to know until I go out there tomorrow, but they're not looking too hot from the window. And before I left the PA, I harvested like 3 zucchinis. I actually brought them up there. You can see in my vlog. I had them in the vlog. But listen, we had a good run. So we'll see what it looks like tomorrow. You know, I'll share with you. I did not harvest yet in 3 days. So you know there's going to be like 6 pounds of peppers out there. I used the rice from the Chinese food takeout spot. But when I was catering, we used to use sushi rice. So just something really sticky. The traditional rice is arborio, which is like a risotto rice. You know, I didn't say this was the most traditional rice ball. I said it was a Leah's Cucina rice ball, okay? I have cucuzza out there growing. I didn't get any cucuzzas yet, but I do have 2 cucuzza plants out there. So, you know, when they decide to give me some fruit, I'll let you know. But the thing about cucuzzas, they grow super quick. So if you see a fruit one day, the next day it's 3 feet. I'm dead ass. Ooh, Mama G's here. Hi, Mama G. What's up, my love? We were just over there at the lake. We're home now. I was having such a good time there. The weather was beautiful. I don't have a written recipe per se. I will when my cookbook comes out. But right now I do have a recipe shared on my page if you wanted to go back for reference. If you type in Leah's Cucina rice balls, anytime I've ever made rice balls, that would come up. Also, I am going to clip this live. And we will, you know, I'll post this too. So you could always come back here for reference. Okay, my people? I love Mama G. You guys know about Mama G? You guys have to follow her. She is the sweetest woman, okay? My husband actually put me on to Mama G, okay? I was out to dinner with my friends one night, and my husband texted me. He's like, I found this girl on live, and she happens to be in the same community that I have my summer home in. We don't need to talk about the name of the community, okay? But we happen to be in the same community. And my husband was like, I saw this girl come on my FYP. She has the same background that we do. Like, he like knew where she was, you know? And she cooks really good food, just like real home cooking, you know? The type of food that you grew up with your mother cooking. Just real deal food. Check her out. Babe, pin her so they could check her out.
Will do.
I love you too, Kimmy. Thanks for being here. How are you, my love? Is she still in here? Let's see if she's still in here.
I pinned a comment.
Okay, good. You rock, Cece. Thank you. My husband pinned her. I don't know if she's still in the room, but she is just really cool. She really is. I'm so happy other people know about her too. She goes on live a lot also and cooks. And it's just like no frills regular cooking. You know what I mean? I feel like sometimes on the internet you're seeing very fabricated way of living. You know what I mean? And it's just like a regular life. Like we're all living and everyone's just, you know, showing you something else for the internet. You know what I mean? She's just seems very kind. I never met her in person, but she seemed very kind. Yeah, she is sweet. Yeah, I don't know if she's here, but follow her out. And if you go on her page, tell her that Leah sent you. Okay? I love to, you know, support the small creators if I can. Especially if they have pretty cool content. You know what I mean? I am Sicilian. But I am going to hop off. I'm going to enjoy a nice rice bowl. I'm going to post it tonight. And thank you guys so much for hanging with me. This was so much fun. I appreciate you. You know, a summer is over somber. A summer is almost over. But you still got me every Tuesday, 8 p.m., okay? One thing that's constant in your life, it's Leah's Cucina on Tuesday Night Lives, okay? Don't forget it. I'll see you there. I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me. Have a good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the